And is that what gets you and your team out of bed every morning, just to keep at it? Because I know that in research, not every hypothesis that you have, every thought, every hunch works out the way you plan it. So there are times when it just doesn't work out the way that you wish it would.
Absolutely.
How do you keep the spirits up of a bunch of researchers who are at this thing and it's not working the way they want it all the time?
So you have to be a particular personality to be in research. You have to love discovery. It's the thrill of the chase. And if people who like doing puzzles or mazes, you go down a path, you have to use all your intuition and intelligence and all the clues and all the information that you have to choose this road over that road. And sometimes it'll be a blind end. But if you find the path and you go forward, there's an excitement and there's a passion, and the knowledge that we're in a field where what we do is making a tangible difference, that the research that we're doing is translating from the laboratory experiments that we conduct into the clinic and is saving the lives of kids. It's sort of hard not to find get out of bed in the morning. No.
It's interesting. You're one of the few leaders that I know that can straddle between business and science. So the going down the road and taking exits that may not work out, how would you relate that back to the people who are watching this show in a business sense? How does that resonate in a business sense as well? Because you've got a big responsibility as a business leader for funding and leading a team.
So I do have, in a sense, I wear two hats. Part of my day job is running it. We have over 150 scientists at the Institute, and I have my own research team of about 22 young scientists that I work with to help guide their experiments and to come up with plans. And the other part of my job is being the executive director of the Institute, which means that I'm responsible for an operating budget and for work health and safety and for, exactly like any other business. And I think that the things that make you good at research are actually very valuable in a business sense. You do need good judgment. You do need to be aware of all of the information. You need to be aware of what other people are doing and leveraging off that. So in the business world, competition, for example, and who your competitors are, and knowing that is absolutely critical. In the research arena, the same way we're constantly scanning the literature, we're sending people to conferences, we make sure that they network, so that you can use all of that information to maximise the chances that the paths you go down are the right ones. And that's the same in the business world as it is in the research world. There's a huge amount in common between them.
Wouldn't it be lovely if business leaders had one of their own personal values, that word discovery? I just think that if more business leaders looked at their business every day trying to discover the next great leader and put the same rigour into discovery, it certainly must open up a lot of innovation and creativity, surely.
Yeah, it has to, because you're always thinking about new ways of doing things, different ways of doing things, and you don't have to think about that as something you ought to be doing. It's actually innate in what we do as researchers. If you don't do that and you're not looking for innovation, then you're just a bad scientist. And you should be in another role, basically.
You won't be at your place.
That's right.
We're going to take a fork in the road because we'd like to know a little bit more about Professor Michelle Haber. When I was looking at through some information about you personally, I know that you like film.
Yes.
And one of your favourite movies, which I believe you watched only just recently again, was Dead Poets Society. So I'm going to play a little clip from the movie. Then I'm going to get you to talk about what does this mean to you and how does it really resonate with you. So this is Dead Poets Society, Robin Williams.
If you listen real close, you can hear them whisper their legacy to you. Go on, lean in. Listen. You hear it? See
I love that movie. Tell me why that resonates so much with you.
So, when Paul, my husband, and I got married in 1980, Paul's mother, we were young. Paul was just turned 22. I was a little older, and Paul's mother danced at our wedding, and 6 months later she was dead of cancer, and she was 47. And at the time, it was a tragedy because she was Paul's mother, but it's only with the passage of the years that I've realised how young 47 was and how much she's missed out on. And I made a pact with myself and with Paul. I saw that his parents had worked very, very hard. They were survivors of World War II, Holocaust survivors, and they'd come to Australia to make a living, and they'd bring up a family, and they put off many things. Later, we'll do this, and we'll get the kids through school, and we'll have things in the good years. And I thought, they never got those good, she never got those good years. And so it became terribly important to me to seize the day and to make sure that there would be never anything that I regretted because we didn't do it. And so when this movie came out several years later, and it was in fact the year my father passed away from cancer, it really resonated. And for me, that captured that carpe diem. We've said that many times, and there are things that we've done as a family and holidays that we've gone on that we haven't really had the money to do, but we felt that it was just incredibly important to have those times together because you never knew when the good times would not be there. So that's been my mantra through life.
And it's interesting, Michelle, with the people that are watching this, it's comforting for me because I know you, and I've known you for a little while now. It's comforting to know that the movie is not just a great piece, but it's true that you and Paul are doing it. And
Yes.
I think that's an important part. And you're balancing being a scientist, being a leader, being a wife, being a mum, contributing to society, all those things. And I know not long ago the Financial Review Boss magazine named you as one of the top 25 true leaders in the country, which, you know, it's fantastic.